Greetings, YouTube. Yes, there is in fact a cat behind my head. Now, I don't really engage in a lot of advertising. I don't read magazines, I don't read physical newspapers, and I pretty much don't watch television at all anymore. And the few times that I do and I encounter advertising, it often seems very alien to me. But sometimes advertising is just, a little fluff piece, nothing to be concerned about. Well, it appears that recently the company J. Crew, a company that don't believe I've ever walked into nor purchased an item from, received as a gift, or even bought one at a thrift store, put an ad out recently that showed their president or CEO, I'm not really sure who she is, engaged in play with her 5-year-old son. And in that particular image, it shows her 5-year-old son who has pink toenails. Implication being that the mother has painted her 5-year-old son's toenails pink. Because if it was the 5-year-old having done such a clean job, I'd be really impressed. And this has caused a massive crap storm among social conservatives. And I'm going to put a link to both a thread about this topic and directly to a Jon Stewart video, which is very entertaining. There are a few people in America as entertaining as Jon Stewart. And it just stuns me that people can get this worked up over something so utterly and absolutely harmless as a mother and child at play. Because a lot of people seem to think that gender is very, very rigid. And gender is a whole lot more fluid than people really might be comfortable with. And that's okay. A lot of people in today's world, as adults, are from an era when they were raised in much more rigid gender roles. And that's changing over time as people realize that gender is fluid. Sex, the male-female thing, isn't even as rigid as most people seem to think it is. Approximately 1% of all humanity are intersexed. They're not actually male or actually female, but falling somewhere in between. The world itself isn't as black and white as people want to think it is. And this is a really good example. But what's come to me from this whole furor, and it's absolutely and utterly meaningless to me that how people are upset about this, is that social conservatives are afraid. They spend their time terrified, just worried about everything, particularly about what everyone around them is doing or thinking, or doing and thinking about them. Now, I suffer from anxiety and depression, and even I understand that the times when I compare myself to others is probably not healthy. But I don't go out in the public and expect everyone else to agree with me. I don't go out in public and tell people, you need to compare yourself with all your neighbors, and if you're different, you're wrong. Well, that's not healthy for anybody. It's just sad. Sincerely and genuinely sad. I just kind of want to hug these people and tell them, it's going to be okay. The world isn't going to end, and everybody's okay. We're all right. That kid's going to be just fine. It doesn't matter in the least whether he paints his toenails or his fingernails or he decides to wear, chiffon. It doesn't matter. What matters is he happy. Today he wants to have pink nails. Tomorrow he may not want to have pink nails. He's 5. He'll change his entire life course of action 5 times today and then 5 times tomorrow. And that's okay. That's normal. That's healthy. So, for any social conservatives out there that are really, really upset about this, can you tell me why? Because sex and gender are not as rigid as you think they are.